Welcome everybody, this is Sandwich Slayer with another video. Fallout 3 is almost 15 years old. It was the game that put the franchise back on the map. It was also my first Fallout game, and I still have fond memories of it. But how many of those wacky wasteland wanderers do we actually remember? In this video, we will take a look at the top 10 most memorable characters in Fallout 3. Let's get to it. Number 10. Betty. In Fallout 3, the Matrix is very real. It's being run by a sadistic little girl called Betty. Or should we say, Dr. Brown.
I was known as Dr. Stanislaus Braun, but here I choose this identity.
This scientist is keeping the residents of Vault 112 hostile in a simulated world called Tranquility Lane. And what started as a science experiment ended up as his personal playground.
The dream became a nightmare. It has to end. It just has to. But we're not in charge. He is. And he doesn't want us to wake up.
For him, the Vault residents are nothing more than mere playthings for his amusement. And for the last 2 centuries they had to suffer in this virtual nightmare.
You don't get to say no. If I want to play a game, you're going to play. And I want to.
In cases like this, you need a superhero to save the day. Number 9 is the Mechanist. This guy is the real deal. He has a suit, a secret base, and even a fan club.
Oh man, did you see it? Did you see it? The antagonizer was all like, "Fear me!" But the Mechanist was all, "Stop, evildoer!"
The only thing he doesn't have is superpowers. Luckily, he has an army of robots to make up for that.
Sadly, sometimes the scaly claw of tyranny must be destroyed by the cold, unfeeling pincers of justice.
And as most superheroes, he has gone through some traumatic experience to push him over the edge.
But then the antagonizer attacked and killed someone very dear to me.
But, as we all know, every superhero has an arch-enemy. So, on number 8, we have the Antagonizer.
So at last, you've penetrated the court of the Antagonizer, Queen of all ants!
This crazy woman takes cosplay to a whole new level. She's dressed up in an ant costume, hangs out in a secret lair, and leads an army of giant ants. And she only has one goal: spread her colonies across the waste and conquer the world. How original. Also, don't tell her that she's not a real ant.
Of course I do! Do you think I'm insane? Why, with this suit, I'm more than any ant could hope to be. And 10 times more than any mere mortal like you or the Mechanist.
Luckily, she's not the only one that lost the plot. Number 7 is President Dave.
I am Dave, President of the Republic of Dave. You will address me as Mr. President or I will have you executed.
This guy is the leader of the Republic of Dave, also known as the Kingdom of Tom or the Kingdom of Larry.
Here, I'll take you to him. Just be sure you call him Mr. President Daddy. He likes that.
Anyway, Dave actually believes that this little plot of land is a functioning nation. He overthrew his father, who was the king, and turned the place into a republic. They are even holding elections.
Man, I'd love to be the president. Everybody would have to listen to me or I could just exile them to the wasteland.
Fun fact, if Dave loses the elections, he will leave the republic and move to a Deathclaw infested town nearby. Here he will form the new Republic of Dave. And then he gets killed. Number 6. Herald. I still remember Herald from the first Fallout game, back when he could still move around.
You know, if I could clear the gunk out of there, you just might find a tear in old Harold's eye.
Sadly, in Fallout 3, he's not moving anymore. The tree that was growing out of his head has finally overtaken him and rooted him to the ground.
Well, eventually he got bigger than me, and then I pretty much ended up inside.
When you find him, he has been stuck there for over 20 years. There's only one thing that can end his suffering: death. You can give him a merciful death by going underground and destroying his heart. But there are other options. Yes, I know, I'm a terrible person. Number 5. Fox. This super mutant is something else. He might look like a mean green killing machine, but this dude actually has some brain activity.
Not so fast! Quid pro quo, my friend!
Ironically, this made him a mutant among his own kind, which he refers to as metahumans. Fox has been locked up most of his life. Luckily, his cell had an active terminal. Here, he read about the past and the history of the world. He especially liked the story about Guy Fawkes who tried to blow up the House of Parliament in 1605. Since he has forgotten his own name long ago, he renamed himself Fox. Number 4. Tenpenny. What do we have here? A stuck-up rich dude in a fancy tower. He's old and wrinkled, extremely arrogant, and he hates ghouls.
Why, I do believe you've lost your mind. Ghouls living here? You're serious?
If they get too close, he will take a shot at them with his sniper rifle. And when he's done playing Wasteland Safari, he sits down, relaxes, and enjoys the view.
I complained offhand one day about how I thought that heap of metal on the horizon was a bit of an eyesore. Mr. Burke offered to take care of it.
Number 3. Moriarty.
Colin Moriarty, at your service. Welcome to Moriarty's. My saloon, my home, my slice of heaven in this backwoods little burg.
He's a true businessman and the owner of Moriarty's saloon in Megaton. Providing the town with drinks is not the only thing he does. He's also the go-to guy for information, if you make it worth his while.
Your dad was here, and now he's not. And yes, I know where he went. But what you're asking me for is information, and information is a commodity.
Moriarty also believes that Megaton is his town and that Lucas Sims is just a facade. An illusion of order that he allows to exist. Number 2. Moira. Ah yes, Moira Brown. She's energetic, very positive, and rather naive about the outside world.
I wouldn't want anyone to get hurt because of a mistake. Nobody's ever happy when that happens. No, then they just yell a lot at me with mean words.
But that doesn't stop her from writing the Wasteland Survival Guide. And she needs your help.
Oh, I haven't got nearly the experience in the wastes that you do. If I tried half of these things, I'd get my head blown off.
You could say that you're sort of a test subject. After all, she makes you wander through a minefield, contract radiation, and visit the Mirelurk's nest. There's no stopping this girl from writing that book. Not even if you blow up Megaton.
Oh, my head's still ringing from that explosion. What happened?
Number 1. Free Dog. This hippie is the radio host of Galaxy News Radio. He's all about fighting the good fight and countering the propaganda that's being spread by the Enclave.
Someone's gotta tell the Wastelanders what time it is, and 3 Dog is the one to do it.
Not that he does much fighting himself.
You've got to understand, if I die, so does the voice of the people. I can't take that risk.
Instead, he made a nice deal with the Brotherhood of Steel. He lets them use his radio station as an outpost, and they keep him safe from the super mutants, including the big behemoths. And that's all 10 of them. Do you agree with this list? Please let me know in the comments down below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, have a great day, and see you next time.